Hey everyone, this is 8-Bit Flashback, and today I'm going to be doing a quick review on a Game Boy Color clone. This is called the GB Color. The box isn't much to look at, but that doesn't matter to me. What I care about is the Game Boy itself, how well this plays, and how well it works. So there's 4 different colors I could pick from, and I really like this transparent green. I thought it looked really cool. And I got this from banggood.com. It's right around 35 bucks, and I'll make sure to post a link down below. Got some instructions here. They're in Chinese, so I don't have a clue what it says. It's also got a screen protector on it. I'm going to go ahead and take that off so we can see the screen better. So even though this looks very similar to the original Game Boy Color, there is some differences. It is slightly larger, and it's got some different contour lines on the case. And there's also some slight differences in the buttons. Also, the original Game Boy Color had a neon green case, but I don't think it ever had a neon green transparent case. But it did have a purple transparent case, along with a few other colors, and I think there are some other limited edition cases released in other countries, but I'm not sure what those colors were. So probably the biggest difference between this clone and the original is that the clone has a backlit screen and built-in games. With the original Game Boy Color, if you wanted to play that in the dark, you had to have some bulky light on the front of it that looked horrible, or you had to mod it, which was really expensive. So having a backlit LED is a huge plus for me. So on the bottom of the case, there's a power input, so if you just want to run off wall power instead of batteries, you can, and there's a headphone jack. On the left side here, you have your volume control, and you have a communication port, so if you want to play 2-player games, you can if you have that link cable, plus another Game Boy Color. On the top, there's an infrared communication port, but I don't think this is functional. I think it's just for looks. There doesn't seem to be any hardware for the infrared port. And on the back here, you have your cartridge slot, so you can play original Game Boy games or Game Boy Color games. Then on the right side of it is where your on-off button is located. It's powered by 2 AA batteries, and you get about 10 hours of battery life. When your batteries start to go dead, what happens is when you power it on, you get a white screen. So that's an indication it's time to change the batteries. So I got 2 Game Boy games, 1 original, 1 Game Boy Color. So let's go ahead and slide these in the cartridge slot and see how well it works. So there doesn't seem to be any issues when I take the games in or out. It seems to work just like the original. And for those wondering about the Game Boy Advance cartridges, no, those do not work. It's a whole different size of cartridge and different programming. The Game Boy Advance is a whole different animal. Alright, let's go ahead and power this up, and when you turn it on, instead of it saying Game Boy, it says GB Boy. So the box for the GB Boy says it has 66 games built in, but when you power it up, it says 188. But that's not accurate. A lot of these games are duplicates, so 66 games would be a much more accurate number. But there actually is some pretty decent games built in, like Super Mario Land, Tetris, Contra, Donkey Kong. There's quite a few games that I actually like on here. Alright, let's go ahead and start off with Contra. We'll go back to the first page, and that's the very first game listed. So from what I can see, all the games that are built in are just original Game Boy games, so they're not going to have that much color. But originally these games were just in one color on the original Game Boy, so to have multiple colors is pretty cool. So the display actually looks pretty nice. It's plenty bright, and it's plenty good enough for Game Boy graphics. As far as the controls and buttons go, they seem to work fairly well, but I do have issues sometimes if I have to move in a diagonal movement, or games like Pac-Man where I have to move up and down, left and right really fast. But games like Mario I can play just fine and there's no issues. As far as sound goes, it doesn't sound great, but it's not that bad. I'm recording from a distance, so there's a little bit of distortion, and it does sound better in person. Alright, let's go ahead and check out a Game Boy Color game just to show you it does have better color. So this is Mario Tennis. And as you can see, I think the screen looks great, especially for what this is. It's just a Game Boy. If I was playing a higher graphic game like a PlayStation game, obviously I'd expect more, but this is just Game Boy. This is all you need. I did notice if you tilt the screen at an angle, you start to get a lot of color loss. But really, there's no reason to tilt the screen. If you're playing it, then it should be facing your face, and when it's facing your face, I can see the screen just fine. Okay, let's check out some more built-in games. Here's Donkey Kong. And this is another great game. I'm really glad this one's built in. Here's Ducktales. And this is an awesome game too. If you haven't played this for Game Boy, you gotta try it. It's definitely addicting. Alright, here's Hong Kong. I don't know if this is a homebrew game or not, but I don't know how to play it because it's all in Chinese. I don't know what's going on. We got Tetris. I have a lot of hours on Tetris. A lot. Here's Centipede. I played this quite a bit, not really on Game Boy, but on Atari. I got some serious hours on this game. Alright, here's Pac-Man, and this game is a bit difficult to play with the D-pad on this Game Boy, but it's still playable. So after playing and testing quite a few games, I didn't really see any emulation issues. The only issues I was having was with the D-pad. On certain games, the accuracy on the D-pad gave me a little bit of trouble. but the games were still playable. So here's my opinion. I actually like this Game Boy clone quite a bit. If there's a Game Boy Color and this clone sitting side by side, I would pick up the clone first to play with it because it has the built-in games and that backlit screen. As far as quality goes, the original Game Boy Color is the clear winner. It's constructed better, it's got a nicer D-pad, and nicer buttons. But as far as entertainment goes, GB Boy is the winner, and I can play this thing in the dark. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. If you want to hear more from me, please subscribe. And if you like that video, please click that like button. And if you want to see more of my videos, just click any of these links.